putting on foundation.
I'm sure you look fine.
Yeah, what do you need foundation for?
Yeah.
You know this is an audio format, right?
Alrighty, welcome again to another week of the Damn Rats Chat Show. I'm Pat, your favorite host. More
right.
like your favorite host,
Whoa,
favorite
yeah.
host.
You know,
we are joined.
a wise
We're
man
all
once
kinda
said,
hosts
if
here.
you're a fan of Pat O'Donnell, you're a fan of yourself.
Oh yeah, no, it's like that thing where with the Velvet Underground, it's like people who listen to me, like they like I'm not famous, but the people that listen to me started their own podcast. You know, it's like the Velvet Underground. All right,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's
we're already
a deep
wild.
cut.
We're already, all right, so we're joined today by Parker, the lumberjack with a heart of gold. Parker, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Went birding all day.
Oh,
what could
we
be
gotta
better?
get into that. Okay, we'll get into that. We're joined by Mark, New York's last true gentleman. Mark, how you doing?
Woo!
Oh, some Ric
Yeah,
Flair
A
influence.
little bit of Ric Flair in there.
The nature boy himself.
Yeah, to be the man, you gotta beat the man.
Alrighty. And then we got Stefan, the world's last remaining Expos fan. Stefan, how's it
Yeah,
going?
it's lonely up here in the top.
Top of the
now.
heap.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have a day of, fun-filled chat. It's kind of like your lunch break, but with 4 strangers.
Yeah, it's a water cooler that you can lug around all day, like whenever you want.
I like that. The not so portable water cooler. Mac is not with us tonight. He is what was he doing?
I don't know.
He never told us.
Yeah.
Editing some shit. I don't know.
He's a busy man.
He is a busy man.
Yeah.
Hey, we're all busy men. You know?
Wow.
Well, I'm most certainly not.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Maybe.
let's
Yeah, I
start
didn't
at the
leave the
beginning,
house
Parker.
today.
You went birding today.
Yeah, like all day. Went down
Situate,
to
Massachusetts.
I'm
Beautiful
glad
Situate.
glad you remembered the name of it because I honestly did not. And I was there all day.
Situate's a great town. So,
A lot of good birds.
take us through the day. So you come down, you drive.
Yeah, drive for like 2.5 hours in these 15
I-93.
passenger vans.
Damn.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Was it like a middle school field trip and there was like some funny business going on in the back of the van?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. No, I mean
There
it
were a lot
was a college field trip, but somehow less things going on in the
I'm
back.
sure
of the
there were
van.
still some
Ooh.
Also
candies
just
being
sleeping.
passed around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just a little, some
I
rubbing.
mean, it was like
Yeah.
6 in the morning though. You know.
Somebody got an early
Hey,
morning
it's like
tugger.
afternoon delight. Don't call it a tugger.
Just call it what it is.
There's nobody on earth who doesn't like a 6 a.m. tugger. What are you
Yeah.
talking about, Parker?
I mean, I don't know. That seems like the worst.
It's
Like
6
nothing is
a.m.,
happening
give
at
me
6
a
a.m.
hand job, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that famous song everyone knows.
Yes.
You know the one.
3
That one.
a.m. by Matchbox 20. You know?
Man. I thought it was Third Eye
6
Blind,
a.m.
and then I
tugger.
would have a real solid penis joke about that, but whatever.
Oh, Third Eye, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Unfortunately, it's Matchbox 20, which is a nonsense name.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really is.
All right, anyway.
and impossible to make a penis joke out of, which is...
Yeah, also true.
We can we need like a chalkboard and some arrows.
Yeah.
But let's see, Matchbox matches kind of look like penises. Dick.
I mean, when you get down to it,
69.
everything basically. I mean, you got box right in there.
Ooh, dick, meat,
Oh.
box.
Why are we talking about this?
Boxes, slang for vagina.
Yeah.
It's
20. Yeah, it's
20.
imperfect. We'll get the fans to write in their own Matchbox 20 dick jokes.
20 cc.
Please don't.
What's how much? Never mind.
Yeah,
Let's
all
keep
right.
it.
Moving on. Let's get back to the problem at hand.
bird.
Parker,
The Wonderful
the
World
wonderful
of Birds.
world of birds.
Yeah, it's good. We saw like 59 species of birds in one day, which is
Wow.
pretty good.
Was it in like a marsh area?
It was all over the place. A lot of it was marshy, yeah. But there was also a lot of open ocean type stuff.
No cranberry bogs.
I mean, we drove past some cranberry bogs for
That's
sure.
Cranberry Country.
Yeah, that's. I mean, most of Massachusetts is cranberry
Yeah.
country, right?
Oh,
That
I
can't be
need to get me some cranberry juice, some unsweetened cranberry juice. I haven't had that in a minute.
Unsweetened. Is that even like edible?
Yeah. What are you, a monster? How could you
Yeah.
drink
It's really
that?
tart, but it's like really satisfying. I had it all throughout my childhood.
Wow.
I think
Boston's own son, I guess.
that's like sour Skittles, you know? Like
Mm.
I like it because it hurts me so much.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is why I like
Exactly.
sour Skittles, so I can probably get
Yeah,
behind
it's
I
like,
want
it's like BDSM for your taste buds.
Exactly. I'm
So-
decidedly a sub when it comes to juice.
So Parker, what was your favorite bird you saw?
I don't know. It's like that's always
All right,
a
do
tough
top
one.
five.
I saw a horn. Okay, that's harder. Osprey, American kestrel. Shit, I feel like I took. Maybe I'm going first to fifth. Horned grebe, black guillemot, and a surf scoter. There you go. Those are the top five. You can look those up. Google those.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll put pictures
throw
on
the
screen.
podcast down to
I'll-
0.5 speed and really write those down.
Yeah.
What was the fourth one you said?
I don't know. Black guillemot?
Yeah, that is a crazy name for a guillemot.
Guillemot. There's no N.
It sounds like a Gila monster, like those lizards.
Kind of does. Very different creature.
It really doesn't look like a guillemot, you know? Like the word, like it looks too peaceful and
And you're saying the guillemot is a very violent creature.
Kind of looks like a
powerful.
penguin.
It's a powerful.
It is
name.
kind of like a penguin.
Yeah.
Kind of
like
feels like
penguin.
guillotine.
Superficially like a penguin.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it looks like a penguin, but it isn't like related to penguins. So it's, you know? I mean, other than that, they're both birds.
It sounds like you're kind of insulting Stefan, but that's
I mean, isn't that like the whole point?
Stefan, your rebuttal.
I rest my case. It's fine.
See, Stefan.
Come
even
on,
agrees.
man. Little bit of backbone.
Yeah, just tell him to suck your dick.
Yeah. No, that's not
childish.
uncalled for. That's childish. You know, child is always sucking each other's dicks.
Oh, Jesus.
All right.
Yeah. Oh,
God
okay.
damn it. That's disgusting. All right, change of subject. Parker, I heard this week that New York City has the highest peregrine falcon population in the world. Is that
I was
true?
densest. Yes, I was literally talking about this with my old college advisor Len today. Dr. Len
That's
Wright's been a
insane.
great guy. Yeah, it's because they do really well in urban environments. They just fucking dive off of skyscrapers and murder pigeons. It's great.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's like gargoyles. That's
kinda.
How big are peregrine falcons?
They're pretty small. I mean, like if you're thinking of like a red-tailed hawk or something, like a big, like the hawk that was on your fucking.
Yeah.
It's small, much smaller than that. But it's
Man, I totally forgot about that.
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the listeners in college, I had this apartment that was on the 4th floor, and it was a truly miserable place. It was my
Yeah.
living nightmare. I was so depressed when I lived there. I went through a breakup. It was this horrible summer. We had a bee problem at one point. It was horrible. Anyway, one time these guys were staying over, and my window was wide open, and my roommate had rats in a cage that were right near the window, and straight up there was just a hawk right outside the window. Wide open window with it basically seeing like 2 juicy hamburgers in a cage wanting to get out. It was scary. It was wild.
Yeah, and you moved probably faster than I've ever seen you move before to close that window,
Thank you.
separating us from the wild bird outside.
Man, that bird kept coming back too. It was there all summer.
I mean, that's pretty cool.
You've had the most buck apartments, like
Yeah, my
apartment
apartment-
stories.
Ugh, I got
At least.
some wild apartment story. I just end up in these weird situations that I just like hate. My last 2 apartments ago, my last one in New Hampshire, I got very behind on rent. Like 4 months behind on rent, and had to like avoid my landlords at all costs. That was a nightmare. If anyone out there is listening, do not get behind on rent.
Didn't you climb out the window at one point?
Okay,
fall
so yeah,
down?
so I wanted to test if my key would work on my like bedroom door, so I locked the door and shut it. Turned out the key didn't open it, so I had to climb out the kitchen window and walk on this, sort of overhang that was probably about like 3 feet long. And I had to shuffle over, open my window, and climb through there. And it was like over this patio of this restaurant. It was one of the scariest experiences I've ever had. It was crazy.
At Williamstown, like, it's such a standard thing that, like, people will lock themselves out of their rooms and just have to climb on a little tiny ledge from their neighbor. Like, so it's like a normal thing. Like, you just, I locked myself out. I'll go knock on my neighbor's door and ask him to climb out their window so I can go into my window.
Why are so many people locking themselves out?
Because it's Williamstown and nothing. It's
because they're overworked and overtired
Exactly,
and maybe
yeah.
a little hungover.
Crazy.
and probably drunk or hungover.
Yeah. It's either one or the other, really.
Yeah, sometimes both.
Stefan, I feel like you've
Yeah.
had really good luck with apartments, haven't you?
Well, I've just had this one apartment, and it's like
It's pretty
fine.
nice.
It actually flooded like earlier this year, though,
Oh, really?
and the
Really?
sink overflowed earlier this year too. So
That's
it
terrible.
has like some problems with it.
Sounds like Pat
that's
was just
it.
wrong then, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know, when we went there, I thought you had a nice place. Your room's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah, it's
Stefan
Oh,
always
it's-
does a good job of organizing rooms.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a clean, like, well-finished place. Just the whole, like, water situation here gets a little fucked up a lot of times.
Yeah, I will say your bathroom,
Toilet
weird.
seat?
Horrible.
Yeah, the toilet seat in my bathroom
Yeah,
looks like it
not
went through,
great.
like, a radiation storm or something.
And your shower looks like you will get murdered in there. It's really
Yeah,
strange.
it's like a small corridor that goes in, like, 5 feet.
Yeah, it's less of a shower, more of a hallway.
Yeah.
And he also had to live with the right wing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
questionable roommate.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Breitbart.
Yeah, you can say Breitbart.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be wrong, I don't think.
What does Breitbart mean?
You know the website Breitbart?
They're-
It's what Steve Bannon used to be the
Oh,
editor-in-chief
okay.
for.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Like
Mhm.
Milo
Pat, you went to
Yiannopoulos.
Yeah, Milo Yiannopoulos. Yeah,
right,
he-
yeah,
he
fuck
worked
that
there.
guy
He
too.
touched kids.
You went to a Red Sox game yesterday.
Yes, Milo didn't, but I
Oh.
went to a Red Sox game
Yeah,
yesterday.
you went to a
and
Red Sox game with Milo Yiannopoulos yesterday.
Listen, it was like a parole thing for him. I had to take him out into town. I don't know why he was in Boston. Anyway, no, I went with friend of the program, Sean Malone, who you guys all know, that I went to college with.
Yeah, love him.
Great guy.
Great guy.
Great guy.
So yeah, it was against the Rays. It was the final score, I think, was 10-2 Red Sox. It was amazing. It was
I thought
just
10-3.
okay. Sorry, we left at the bottom of the 8th because we were like it was freezing. It was so cold. The high that day was 40, and we were in the shat. Like we weren't
Oh,
inside.
man.
It was
Ugh.
so
Yeah,
fucking
That's
cold.
rough. It was real fucking cold this morning too, and all I wore was a t-shirt and a flannel, and it was like 30 degrees and super windy the whole day.
Horrible
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, it was a really bad idea. But
That's rad. Did you get a
Yeah.
little in the cups at all? Did you
No,
pound-
beer is so expensive at Fenway, and I was like blindingly hungover that morning when we had to like go there. So I was
Yeah.
like, Sean, I can't drink anything. So we didn't get in the cups. We had a delicious Italian sausage though, and it was great. It was
nice.
It was awesome. There was this lady with a baby that was sitting next to us, and she was being real fun. Yeah, I don't know. It was just going to Fenway is all around a really fun experience. Sometimes you see some shitheads, but they're usually like relatively tame and entertaining. Yeah, it was great. We saw a Grand Slam. That was the first Grand Slam I've ever seen. It was amazing.
awesome. Where were you guys
Yeah.
sitting?
We were sitting, so it was in the sort of in right field or left field, I guess. Yeah, because right field is a monster. So yeah, it
that's
was
a monster.
left field, sort of towards the back, but we could still see a lot of the plate or a lot of the diamond. It was rad. It was awesome. I highly recommend. I'm going again this Saturday to see them play the Orioles. So it's a good year to be a Red Sox fan. They're
Absolutely.
best start to a season since 1920.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're like the only team who's had, I'm going to butcher the stat, but like something like the first 6 games, none of their starter pitchers have given up more than 1 run.
Damn.
it was something crazy like that.
That is crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I feel like that's just the way baseball's going, though, you know?
Yeah.
It's just going to end up being like fucking 21 inning games every time with just these insane superhuman pitchers.
It's
and that's just no fun.
So the era right before Babe Ruth joined the MLB was referred to as the dead ball era because there was certain changes and like the spitball was really popular and it was before the spitball was outlawed. So it was called the dead ball era because just no one was getting home runs. And it was all about sort of like quickness of runners and like good pitching and like bunting. And it's crazy because baseball sort of has these ebbs and flows of when like people hit homers or there's different strategies and stuff. I don't know. It's a cool. I was talking about this with Sean. Is the one of the few sports that you can sort of see there's like true continuity to it. So like you can always compare it to a previous era, and you can always because like it sort of is always tracking in the same direction. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah,
Kinda.
but I would always like if I had the choice between like skillful runners versus just like people hitting home runs nonstop. I'd go for skillful runners, and I think that's a more enjoyable game.
It adds an interesting element for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Neither would be longer either, right?
Well, yeah, it depends how much of a grind it becomes. You know?
Do you think that as like sports are becoming like quicker and like people have to like have a shorter attention span, so it's like a quicker paced sport, are they gonna cut out a couple innings from baseball, you think?
I'd be down.
Well,
with
so
that.
the big rule change that they did this year is they limited mound visits to 6 per game. Because they were thinking that these mound visits, because you can do it however many times you want previously, they were really slowing down the game. And there's like a strict game clock between innings and stuff. So it's like trying to keep it quicker. But I think the beauty of watching a live baseball game as opposed to on TV is how slow it moves. Yeah, because it's the most relaxing sport. You're just kind of laying back, paying attention when you want to, but you know you won't miss that much if you don't. It's like, it's a real throwback to a different era.
Yeah.
That's like 90% of that, or 90% of people are not going to live games, which is the problem.
Yeah, and it's so painful to watch a live baseball game on TV. It's just
I do not like that.
Crazy.
Excruciating.
But like, I don't think I could ever go to like a live hockey game for the opposite reason, because I just like cannot follow what is happening because of how quickly it is happening.
Have you seen a live hockey game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the Monarchs play.
I've seen the Monarchs as well, but that's not.
Have you ever been to one though?
Like NHL? No.
Yeah, or like you've been to Monarchs?
Yeah, I've been to the Monarchs a couple times.
Savon, have you seen an NHL game? Yeah, you have. Right?
Yeah, I've been to the Bell Center a few times to see like the Habs, and I went to the Garden to see the Habs against like the playoffs against the Bruins. It was crazy.
Nice.
There's like half Montreal fans in that place.
I think it's way easier than you think, Parker.
Maybe. I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, me neither.
I think the most painful sport to watch live is football because they do TV timeouts in the NFL, which is heinous. It's crazy. So like the game is so herky-jerky and you're just like not watching something for so much. But yeah, I don't know. They're kind of trying to change that, I think. A bunch of football rules got changed. I haven't really delved into them this year, but there were some interesting things, I think.
Yeah. Fuck Roger Goodell, right?
Yeah, probably.
I don't want to talk about Deflategate right now. I don't have the energy to get really mad about Deflategate.
My favorite thing to do living in New York is like people start shitting on the Patriots about like Deflategate and Spygate, and then just like casually like disagreeing with them. Just be like, oh yeah, they're just a bunch of fucking cheaters. Like, no, I mean they're not, but like whatever, you know. It's really fun to do because they get.
It's the ultimate disservice. Exactly. My favorite thing to do now is Eagles fans love to be like, oh, we fucking beat you. Tom Brady dropped it, all this shit, and the best thing to do is like, that was the most important game in Philadelphia football history. That was one Super Bowl for us. Like that was just a game. Like don't give a shit that we lost.
But on the other hand, like people bring up the fucking Giants Super Bowl to me,
Mm-hmm.
I will lose my goddamn shit at you because
those were painful games. Those were not fun.
Oh my god, Eli Manning sucks dick, and he's just like got so lucky that one game, and Brady was just off that one game. And
It's how it goes, man. That's the beauty of sports. Can't be scripted.
Especially with the NFL, where just everything's fucking one game, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
Yeah, that's absurd.
No series. Yeah.
I think a lot of what it's about is like they want every season to be like a fresh slate almost, like as much as possible. Like like if you think about other sports, like the shitty teams from last year don't really have a shot of winning it all this year, especially in baseball, particularly because there's so many goddamn games.
And like if you embrace tanking in those sports, it's like you're gonna suck for years. Like in order to actually build up a team through tanking and through like the farm system, you have to suck for years. Like look at in basketball, look at the 76ers, the process, their version of tanking lasted like 7 seasons, and you just like need to grind that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas in football, they do try to reach. There's a lot of articles this past NFL season on parity, which was saying basically. It's parity, basically saying that for the most part, teams are getting to this central point where they're almost completely equal, which is really interesting because like there are standout teams. But you think about the playoffs this year, they were all incredible games.
Yeah, and like the fucking Jaguars were in them. What?
Yeah. But you still have the Browns, you know?
I think the Browns could, like, if the Browns made the playoffs in the next season, I wouldn't be completely shocked.
They made some incredibly interesting offseason moves.
They've been making a lot of moves lately.
Interesting.
For sure.
Interesting's a word in there.
I mean, but like the smartest thing they could have done is get an experienced quarterback, and that's what they did. They got Tyrod Taylor, I'm not going to say Tyrod Taylor is going to win you a Super Bowl, but it's a distinct change from what they've done for the past however many seasons.
They've literally been chasing quarterbacks like the past 10 years.
But they always start a rookie quarterback. They never get an experienced guy, and now they finally have a guy who has a couple years on them that can possibly win them games.
And then they still have a lot of early draft picks and could still get a rookie quarterback, so they have multiple options.
Exactly.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I'm not saying the Browns are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm just saying it's not the craziest thing.
To get really into, I'm really nervous about the Rams this year. They're looking so damn good.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They just got Brandon Cooks from us, which I think that trade was crazy. I understand why it happened, but it was frustrating. But
Brandon Cooks is also like 80 at this point, isn't he?
yeah, he's not. He's not. It's not his younger years anymore.
No.
But he's still explosive sometimes. Him and Brady had a couple good plays last year. I don't know. I think it's an exciting.
Also, sorry, I was gonna say also 80 in football years is like 24, 25, right?
It's just pre and post ACL tear.
Yeah, exactly. Just look at RG3. Gone.
Oh,
I mean, he's on the Ravens
yeah,
now.
I think he might. I don't know. I don't know how Flacco's looking, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Still got that jersey. None of the 4 football jerseys I own are accurate anymore, and I haven't even had them.
Who do you have?
I have RG3 Redskins, Pierre Garçon, also Redskins. He's on the Niners now, I think. Marshawn Lynch, Seahawks, who's now on the Raiders still, I think.
Yeah.
And Reggie Wayne, who's retired.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, sports are great. I love sports.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Oh, speaking of sports, Mark, WrestleMania is going on right now.
Correct. Yeah. Well, the actual event starts in like 12 minutes, but like it started. It's happening right now.
Where does it take place?
What?
What city is it in right now?
It's in New Orleans.
The Big Easy.
Yeah, the Big Easy. And
Is it always there?
What?
Is it always there?
Man, you cut out like every single time you start to say anything to me. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, they already had like the Andre the Giant Battle Royale for dudes. They just had the ladies one. The dudes one was, oh man, I fucking love professional wrestling so much, and I just subscribed to the WWE network, and like it's gonna bring me so much joy in the coming months.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I could get back into professional. I liked it when I was a kid, but I don't think I have the wherewithal to invest in it now.
It's like I always think that because I'm very out of it right now, but like I just started watching, and like they do enough promos in one pay-per-view that like you get everything that's going on.
It catches you up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like a whole complete story.
Or like even like not like the perfect amount, but like take like the Battle Royale. Like Battle Royale is just like basically all the old washed up guys who like can't actually make it to like a main event at all, and like just throw them all into the ring because they've like put their hours in and they should still be there. So like at the end of it, Matt Hardy won.
Nice. Which
is awesome because I love Matt Hardy. Everybody loves Matt Hardy, you know.
Hardy Bros.
Delete.
Totally
You know.
Who you're talking about.
Yeah, everybody loves him. But he won because Bray Wyatt just came into the ring at the very end and like knocked out the other two guys who he was against, just so Matt Hardy could win. And apparently, like last year, Matt Hardy knocked out Bray in the final, and so I don't know. I get so invested every single time I watch this. It's so beautiful.
I know nothing
and
about.
And then right after that, you
WWE.
get all the
it's neat.
young dudes doing their thing in their like cruiserweight, where they're like, we're young and we can do like 6 backflips in a row. But nobody really cares at all that we can do that.
It's like, who can't, honestly? Who can't do 6 backflips in a row?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That one was a fun one, too. I watched that one, like, just a couple minutes ago. It was Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali. And Cedric Alexander's character is just that he's a good dad.
I love that. That's amazing.
Like, I just want a legacy for my son and my daughter. I'm like, yeah, man. All right.
That's great.
Man.
That's great. I wish I had more input. I wish I watched it.
Somebody at my work had a CM Punk shirt, and I asked him if he liked like punk music. Later on, I found out CM Punk is a professional wrestler.
Yeah. Even I knew that one, Stefan. Come on.
God. CM Punk. He's like a big name, too, dude.
Yeah. I don't know anything about
you're
wrestling.
Really just a little baby, huh?
Yeah.
The babe in the woods.
Babe in the
It wasn't in my childhood at all.
What happened to CM Punk? Man, you guys need to get more into wrestling so we can have a bigger conversation about this.
CM Punk,
like Randy Savage.
Parker, what was this?
Okay, well, they actually talk about it in the video, so it's fine.
Okay, perfect. That's what I was going to bring.
Yeah, because I just watched this Super Eye Patch Wolf video recently. He's a YouTuber who's also very into professional wrestling, among other things. And it was really interesting, even though I don't watch any wrestling at all. But he was talking about CM Punk for a bit, because a lot of it was about how, like, the line between these real actual human beings and like their wrestling personas is like so thin, you know, and it can be broken and manipulated so easily, and that's what makes it so interesting. But CM Punk did this thing where he just had like a kind of a breakdown and was just like yelling at people and like ranting into the mic, like, and talking shit about like everyone, like literally everyone in wrestling and his fans and like everything. So I think that might be part of the reason he's not as big anymore. But
it's like how 50 Cent had that song. Shit, I forget what it was called now, but it was his first famous song, and it was on a mixtape, and it was just shit talking everyone in rap music.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
How to Rob. It's called How to Rob. And then he had another one, everyone thinks How to Rob is what got him shot, but in reality it was another song he had called Ghetto Quran, which was just listing the name of drug dealers in New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like the
Shot,
easiest
like,
way to get
13
someone
times.
shot, for sure.
No,
got him
it's
shot
literally
13
exactly what happened to him.
And he had a piece of bullet lodged in his tongue because it went through his cheek, and people asked what it was like, and he said it tasted like I had lemons in my mouth. First thing he goes through, not the pain of having a bullet in his tongue, but the taste.
Yeah, I mean, it is your tongue, to be fair.
It's true.
I think that it's really interesting that, like, I missed the earlier, like, the 80s WWE and WWF when their characters were so buck wild that, like, they had to stay in character, like, even when they left the ring because Vince McMahon was trying to build that brand. And then, like, there was, like, the total shift of just, like, these are just, like, dudes, but they're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Or at least the best ones are fucking crazy today.
That's, yeah, you should definitely watch that video. That's a lot of what it's about, is like that shift.
Yeah.
It's interesting because I feel like now people just know the terms. Like, people know, like, face and heel, you know, like baby faced or heel. Like, people just know that distinction, whereas in the 80s when you watched it, you were just like, I think this is real. Like, it's so... It's crazy that it's just as popular now as it was then, even though now everyone's sort of in on it.
But it's also, like, super buck that, like, face and heel has not become such a minimal thing in professional wrestling at this point. Because, like, it was so obvious back then that, like, oh, like, this is a racist stereotype and he's the heel because we hate this race of people.
Like, Kane was burnt and now has a deformed face, so Kane is a heel because he's, you know, disfigured or whatever.
Right.
Because he's ugly.
Yeah.
But at this point, like, they're all just, like, pretty standard dudes. And, like, I think that that's why in this WrestleMania, Stephanie McMahon is wrestling with Triple H and against Ronda Rousey and I forget the other guy. But, like, Stephanie McMahon and Shane McMahon are both in this WrestleMania. And I think that that's because they need, like, the McMahon family has always been the heel, like, no matter what. Because, like, that's the face. And, like, it's so easy to hate the governing body.
The corporation, yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
So, maybe they're not able to get these heel characters enough. Anymore.
Or maybe because people are so informed that it's that switch wherever now they're like, well, now that you're in on what good and evil and how we used to code it, how about we just have something in the middle, you know, so it just keeps it interesting. It keeps you guessing.
Yeah, but I don't know, I don't like that. I think people will still pay to see good versus evil, period. I think
It's
so,
done well.
Time again.
Why not just keep doing that?
I don't know.
Yeah, me neither.
Good wrestling podcast. I've only listened to it for a few times, but it's called We Watch Wrestling, and it's hosted by Matt McCarthy and a couple other comedians, and it's really good. I recommend it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, we're just plugging another podcast right now.
Well, I just wanted to give him a shout out. I like Matt McCarthy a lot.
All right.
Yeah,
well, my cousin has a podcast called Wrestlemania that also.
There you go.
She's a
Is
funny
that real
person.
or fake? I literally don't know.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Really?
Cool.
She's like a semi-famous comedian.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she's getting up
I think
there,
you've
yeah.
mentioned her before.
Kath Barbadoro.
Kath Barbadoro.
Gets in a lot of Twitter fight. I don't know Kath, obviously, but she gets in a lot of Twitter trouble with people.
It's true.
Don't we all?
Do you follow her on Twitter?
I don't. I did for a while, and then there was a lot of... I had to, you know, you got to filter out the timeline every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I wish I did.
start doing that.
So, yeah,
pretty
you
soon.
don't want to end up where I am. Like 700 people I'm following, and then I can't even
It's sometimes
see
sometimes bird Twitter oversexed with Pokemon Twitter, and then you don't even know what's real.
My favorite thing
That would be crazy.
is like following people from high school, and then like they'll do things just like the most normal things you've ever heard, like, oh, it's so beautiful out today, or like, oh, look at this car. I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's so strange. It's so strange because everyone else you follow is like tweeting about jizzing on a printer, and you're like, oh, this is just normal Twitter. Like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're not trying at all. They're just saying, like,
there's no point.
Oh, yeah.
There's no like pun or anything. It's just like an observation they had that day.
Yeah,
Like they read like
just like clam chowder over corn chowder, and you're just like, I don't.
It's like on Facebook they read like what's on your mind, and then they answered the question straight up.
They're like, well, Mark Zuckerberg, let me tell you.
I just woke up. And
I
I'm bored.
just woke up. Yeah. That's a great one. Anybody want to talk?
I feel like now you're just saying things that people tweeted in like 2010 or 2000.
No, it's still going on, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sure you don't follow.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite thing is unfollowing people.
Oh, that
so maybe
feels
that's
good.
why. Yeah,
It's
it
like-
feels great.
You guys, if that is cocaine, the crack version of that is deleting your Facebook. It feels so damn
Oh yeah.
good.
Oh, I'm so ready to make
You
that
got
jump.
to.
Right
Add a-
now. I have no idea.
No.
We'll see.
It's great.
I just
Oh,
don't
it's
check it
amazing.
at all, ever.
Yeah, I mean,
Then why bother having
That's
it?
why it's like it doesn't even matter either way.
Exactly.
I was checking it too much. That's why I deleted it. I'm like 2 years out without having a Facebook now. Isn't it?
That's crazy. I didn't even realize
I
that.
deleted it. Well, I guess, yeah, just about 2 years. It's wild.
I'm gonna go pee real quick.
Okay.
So here's a word for a sponsor.
Yeah, word
Yeah.
from our sponsor.
Blue Apron.
Ticonderoga pencils.
Yeah.
I would love it.
You definitely didn't just look at a
I would
pencil,
love a
right, like on your
Ticonderoga
desk and read
hookup.
it.
That would be sweet. You know, free pencils.
Yeah, that pencil money.
I haven't used a Ticonderoga pencil since high school.
Yeah, it's the
'Cause-
it's the classic pencil. It's a great
Yeah.
feeling. The eraser is perfect. That's the thing.
Yeah. There's no like
Solid
Yeah.
eraser.
Yeah, that's true. That is actually exactly why they're the best ones. But also, like, do they really need the advertisement? Because they're literally what you picture.
That's
when you
true, and
picture
they
a
don't have
pencil.
advertisements yet, so apparently
Yeah.
they're doing just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they just realized that they're at, like, market saturation.
we would have to
right?
get sponsored by like a mechanical pencil company, and I don't want to.
Yeah, and that's no good.
I don't
Yeah,
even
like,
Bic?
use
$25 for a pencil? Come on, get the fuck out.
Yeah,
of here.
exactly.
I don't care
even
what
use
it
them.
does.
I always press too hard, and the fucking lead breaks.
I switched over to mechanical when I went to university because there's no pencil sharpeners anywhere in campus.
Yeah, that's, you know what my solution to that one was? Just pens. Straight
Really?
pens.
See, so I'm in a critical point right now at work where I stopped using pens and I started using pencils, and my life is so much easier.
Oh, I can understand that. Yeah, I cross a lot of shit out, make a lot of
Exactly,
mistakes.
and then you're just
but
wasting
fuck it.
paper. Once you start using a pencil, you stop wasting paper. I used to chew on my pens a lot, and I would like be wasting pens all day, but now I don't chew on the pencils. It's great. It's great.
I feel like a pencil is more chewable than
Yeah,
a
but then
pen,
I
right?
always chew on the eraser, and then I have to erase shit, and then it like smudges and doesn't work, and so I'm like, oh, just
Yeah.
don't chew on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that makes
Thank you.
sense in a weird roundabout kind of way.
Man, weird thing about wooden
We've been going
pencils.
for almost for a little over 40 minutes now.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, we've talked about a lot
Yeah.
of stuff so far.
We're not even done.
Birds, sports,
Pencils.
Apartments.
wrestling, which is, I guess, also
Birds.
sports.
All right.
All right.
Hey.
So, Stefan, I understand you have a new movie coming out.
What? A new movie? Oh, what?
Listen,
Come on.
me, Parker, and Mark have all done shit. All said shit this episode. We need
Yeah.
one thing from you.
Yeah, I don't have a new
Yeah,
movie
come
coming out though.
I know,
Come
but
on.
I was throwing you a
Oh,
meatball.
don't be
You,
a
you can knock that
meatball.
one out of the park.
He was throwing you under the bus. You know,
I
no big
haven't.
deal.
I haven't left my apartment all day.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
God.
Yes.
It's not nice when it happens like 5 days in a row, though. That's when it
Ugh.
becomes a problem.
Yeah, that's when cabin fever sets in.
Yeah, I think I've
I
been
mean,
getting
maybe
cabin
for you,
fever.
fucking...
Yeah, your apartment is very, I don't know.
It's
It feels like you
claustrophobic
could
in
get
here.
pretty easy. Yes.
It's a little
Yeah.
bunkery, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's
Yeah.
small windows. You don't need that.
But also,
No.
we know it from the one time we went up there when it was,
But it was like the
literally
coolest day of the
Literally
year.
the
negative
coldest
30
time
degrees outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Why don't you go like take some Second City improv classes, Stefan?
Me?
They only have them in Toronto.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Do you know that offhand?
Yeah. Second City, Toronto and Chicago are the two biggest, or were in like the 80s, the two biggest ones.
What's the other biggest Canadian
Improv Olympic?
No, Canadian improv troupe. Man, you don't know this offhand?
Well, I mean, there was it's not an improv troupe, but SCTV is a sketch troupe that was out of Second City, Toronto, and Chicago.
Yeah, that's literally just Second City TV, though. So
damn,
It's like the same. It's like the same thing.
And then all of those guys did like Christopher Guest movies and stuff. I don't know a lot about the history of Canadian improv, but it's like extensive, sort of like unto itself. Colin Mockery and Ryan Stiles, or no, maybe just Colin Mockery's from there, from whose line.
Yeah.
I don't know that much about Canadian improv history, but I know it's just as influential as American improv history, which is interesting.
If you say so.
Yeah, Canada's got a lot of funny people, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean,
like they always have. Like Dan Aykroyd was one of the original SNL
I know.
fucking
He came
cast
from
members.
Second City.
He came
and
down.
Harold Ramis, who's maybe like one of the top 5 comedy directors of all time, is Canadian.
They're like Mike Myers, Jim
There you
Carrey,
go.
all those like early 2000s
Yeah.
people that were just like crazy huge.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
Yeah, there was a huge boom. Like, well, there was like the group that like went from Second City to SNL, like originally, and then there was like the second boom.
Mm-hmm.
Are we primed for a third Canadian
Third
comedy?
Canadian boom. I'm trying to think.
Stefan?
You have that guy that made Goon, that movie.
Yeah, but he's been directing for years. And
Yeah,
years.
that's true.
He's not like a new guy.
No, I really don't know.
I'm trying to think. So right now we're kind of I think we're at sort of a tipping point for comedy in the United States where it was so good for so long, and now it's sort of becoming, there's so many people that it's sort of getting regionalized. So instead of knowing people as like, oh, this is just a famous comedian, it's like, oh, that's more of a New York guy or gal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to really move up, and you sort of get a cult thing going on much easier in like a regional fan base. So I think there's probably Canadian guys that we just don't know about yet that are going to get famous.
I guess, but that
makes
is
sense.
like the Canadian. There's never been like a real Canadian film base, like.
I feel like it's getting better though. I feel like the Goon really set a lot of things off where I feel like that was like, oh, we can make like Canadian movies that are specifically for Canadian people.
There's a lot of films coming out of like Toronto,
Really?
like a huge bunch. Yeah, and they're all like filmed in Toronto and stuff.
What If? Did you see that movie?
No.
It was called The F Word in Canada. It's Daniel Radcliffe and Zoe Kazan.
Oh man.
No.
It's pretty good. It's a little
No.
cheesy. It's a romantic comedy, but there's good elements to it.
I think like in
I'm
the
always
80s,
down for a good rom-com.
in the 80s or something, Canada like gave a bunch of money to like the arts and stuff, so like film directors could like make whatever they wanted to. And that's why they're like all those weird ass David Cronenberg movies happened like in Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
that-
Canadian too.
Yeah,
all
that's
those
why I always
weird-ass
thought
fucking
like
movies.
it was weird that like there weren't more movie. I felt like Canadian government was sponsoring the arts more than the American government, but like
Probably at least more per capita.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But I guess yeah, we're just producing more blockbusters that keeps the film industry alive.
Stuff. You have to like monetize an art as like a product, you know?
Yeah, that's why like the indie scene. I mean, this is like such a trite observation, but the indie scene is so much more exciting than the studio scene. But I think there'll be some sort of collapse, and then it gets back to like artists making films as opposed to studios forcing films.
Right.
I guess.
I feel like we're kind of seeing a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Like it's not entirely just like fucking studios forcing
Yeah, no, you're right.
directors to do whatever.
Because there are interesting Marvel movies and Star Wars movies and stuff, but
Yeah.
inevitably it's just that grind where it's like a lot of similar movies are coming out, and it's hard to distinguish.
Yeah, like for every one good, funny original movie, there's like 10 that were just made because they felt they had to be made.
Like Solo, I
Yeah.
don't know what Solo is gonna look like. The trailer didn't really inspire me to be stoked, but we'll see.
But yeah, that's totally fine. Like that we have a lot of trash mixed in with, and like we have 2 good months of like actual, like, when people are running for the Oscars, those are always quality movies, and they're still going to do great in the box office.
True.
So it's just a weird balance.
Yeah. Like, Call Me By Your Name this year was, like, huge.
I don't know.
I don't know what that is either.
Call Me By Your Name? You guys know what
I don't
Call
know
Me By
shit
Your
about
Name is?
movies.
I do a little bit.
Thank you, Stefan. It was a very famous, incredibly famous movie that came out this year.
Yeah.
How could it be incredible? There's only been 4 months
yeah,
this
exactly.
year. What are you saying?
Oh, no, it came out in 2017. It was nominated for Oscars. Timothy Chalamet was nominated for an Oscar. Armie Hammer was nominated
Boss
for an Oscar.
Baby was nominated for an Oscar, Pat. What is your point?
Yeah, but the animated Oscar is always
Yeah, it's because fucking Hollywood old douchebags do not care about animated films.
But I'm not arguing that the Oscars are good or bad. I'm arguing this is a famous movie that you two idiots haven't heard of.
I mean,
I don't like how you're fucking calling us dicks because we haven't heard of one fucking movie that was up for a couple of Oscars.
To be fair, I haven't heard of most movies. But
I have heard
Mark
of most
definitely
movies.
has.
Like, so this is just like a little slip that I had, all right?
All right, listen, I'm on your
back
team,
the
man.
fuck off.
I think you're angry at yourself more than Pat.
No, I'm more mostly angry at Pat. God damn
Really
it.
projecting.
I think Mark getting angry is my favorite part of this podcast.
I'm looking at this guy, this
very
fucking
funny,
director.
always.
He's literally just only directs short videos, and like that's fine. That's like artsy or whatever. But like, I'm not gonna know his name. I'm not gonna know Luca Guadagnino. You know?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what to tell you.
Why are you so angry?
I'm not angry about anything.
You sound pretty angry.
Yeah, Pat, you sound pretty pissed.
People, I thought it was funny because Call Me By Your Name is like a gay story, and people called it Moon White because it's about 2 white people, you know?
Sure. Yeah, it's a real knee slapper.
Stefan, what do you think? What outstanding business we got?
What do you mean?
Nope. Do we have anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
You have any good cigars recently?
No.
Just
I'm just
say
like
something, man.
Yeah.
Just like
I've just been doing
your love
school.
life.
I've just been writing papers the past like week, and you don't want to hear about like rocks and stuff.
On that
boring.
that geology grind.
Yeah.
See any
It's
good rocks lately?
Some bunch of good like igneous rocks, a bunch of like lava blobs and stuff.
Those are usually the best ones.
So bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is real.
I had to
Watch any
write.
good porn recently, Stefan?
Oh yeah. Every morning, every night.
What about during the day?
I just do the audio files during the day. I just keep
Yeah.
headphones on.
Man,
It's a 24-hour
I
cycle
can't get
though.
into them. Makes
Oh,
me
no,
feel
here's-
weird.
I like it. Okay, here's what we end with. Stefan, how's your Tinder going? You got any dates?
No. Bunch of dead ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been
Really
busy.
thought we were gonna get some meat off that bone. But
No.
What about Mark? You get any good Tinder action?
No, I've been hanging out with the one girl.
The one?
Yeah, like
D1.
D1.
Holy shit.
I don't know if she's D1. Like,
Yeah, that's a pretty hefty
I mean,
but
accusation.
if she were to propose, I don't know if I'd say no. That's all I'm saying.
you don't know if you would say no. That's what kind
Exactly.
of qualify. I think if I was a therapist, I'd say that's a leading answer, Mark.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what's a leading
Yeah.
answer? Isn't it a
I
leading
guess that doesn't make any
question? Like,
sense.
yeah.
Listen, I'm not a therapist, all right?
You should be.
Yeah, that's why you're not a psychologist.
Ooh, I should be.
Yeah. Drop this whole lawyer bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not a lawyer.
Or you could be
You could basically be a lawyer, right?
No, I would have to pass the bar. I'm not doing that bullshit.
I bet you could just show
yeah,
up,
you
right?
can just bullshit
To
your
like
way
a court,
through the
like a
bar.
briefcase
Yeah.
and a tie.
No, that's what I do every day. The only thing, I literally bring a briefcase every day, and the only thing I have in there is my lunch.
Sounds like you're a lawyer to me then.
Man, oh fuck. Seth Rollins just got knocked out of the fucking Fatal 4-Way. It's like, what even the...
Damn.
What's the damn point?
Sorry, man.
God damn it. Everybody loves Seth Rollins. Why would he not be? It's like,
Parker, you have any good Tinder action recently?
God damn it.
Not really. Although one of the people in the ornithology class with which I went birding today was someone I had previously matched on Tinder. So that was weird. It was a little weird.
Think they recognized you?
No, definitely. It wasn't. I made it a little less weird than it could have been.
Did you talk to them about it?
Did you say like,
I don't know.
Hey, remember me?
Well, the nice thing about like a big birding trip is like the whole way there and like the first hour or two, you know, no one's really saying anything.
Yeah.
You know, it's like cold and it's like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
No one's talking to anyone.
Yeah.
So by the time that we all are talking, we're kind of just all talking to each other.
Yeah.
You know.
So you didn't have any.
We've already.
There was less like ice to break. It was just like, all right, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's good.
We just kind of let the ice melt
Ooh.
instead.
Get that on a damn bumper
down?
sticker. Let the ice melt.
Exactly.
Ooh, I like that. Maybe that's my sign-off phrase this time.
I like how you keep on doing, and as always, a new sign-off phrase for every single episode.
Has yet to be the same.
Seth Rollins did not get knocked out, by the way. I thought he did, but like he was just outside the ring at the time. He's gonna win this one. I got it.
I had one of those conversations with the person where it just keeps going and going and going, and you're
That's
like,
awesome.
Where is it? No, it sucks because it just nothing ever ends up happening. It just kind of pitters out instead of like.
You gotta ask for their
what are you
number,
doing
dude.
this- I try. I'm like, oh, so what are you doing this weekend? Seeing if we can set up a date, and they're just like, nothing. I'm like, okay.
That means that. Do you not try to set anything up?
No, that's not exactly
Is
what
that
happened.
not the good
All
answer?
right, so what she said, we were having a conversation, and then she was like, what's your favorite color? Which I thought was strange.
Oh,
and then
fuck
I gave a
that.
hilarious answer.
Yeah.
What was the answer?
I
need
said,
to know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
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 All right.
Better be
I
good.
said,
Big build up here.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
But only when you say, "Can you hear me?"
It's like super delayed. I said my favorite color is brown, like a deep brown, like the color that wood paneling in a den would be. Which I thought was like kind of, oh, we can go somewhere from there. And she just said, damn.
Also, that's because she asked a boring question and she got like an answer. Like, what do you a normal ass answer? I mean, it's like a decent answer. But, like, the question itself fucking sucked.
so bad.
I don't know what she was expecting.
And, like, I don't know if I was supposed to, you're always supposed to ask questions and keep the conversation going, but what am I supposed to be like, what about you? It was like...
Yeah,
You're
right.
not
gave, like,
supposed to do anything, all right?
Yeah, that's true. That's
like,
true.
it shouldn't be put on either one of you to, like... If it's a conversation, then, like, I don't know. People don't know how to talk these days.
Exactly. I thought I gave a fun answer that was like, oh, we can have a good bit off this. And she just said, damn, I think it was her, last attempt, because it didn't have anything to do with the conversation. She was like, oh, if I get an answer to this dumb question that I like, we'll hang out, I don't know.
How long were you guys talking before this?
We would message each other once every day. So it wasn't like a consistent conversation, but I would get like a text at like 11 at night.
Yeah, that's tends to be how most Tinder interactions go for me as well. Like one text every day or every other.
If you have
day.
like a night or
You know
two,
what I've been doing recently with Tinder? I've been sending out a what's your favorite sway freestyle, and
That's pretty good.
Not many people know who Sway is.
Yeah,
Which is
I
a
don't know
damn
who that is.
shame. I would
He
say.
hosts the what is it? The Sway in the Morning. It's just
Sway
like a
in the
show where they
Morning.
interview rappers and stuff.
Yeah. What up,
What up,
world?
sounds
world?
pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he said. What up, world?
Yeah.
You're more of a Charlemagne the God man, Parker.
I also
You're
don't
like
know
the
who
donkey
that
of the
is.
day.
What the fuck?
These are all just hip hop morning shows.
Dude, just like, all right, here's anybody who ever listens to this, listen to the John Bellion Five Fingers of Death. It'll change your life. Guaranteed.
Guess I
Ooh,
will then, since I'm also listening.
Let's throw out
this.
some culture that will change some lives. This will be a way to end it.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Stefan, what is one piece of culture that changed your life or will change lives?
What? Just like pop culture type of thing?
Just anything.
And literally anything. Yeah.
The Iron Giant kind of changed my life.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, that's a really good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice start.
man.
That was like a childhood favorite of mine. Downer ending really made you ponder everything.
Parker, you got one?
Well, I was gonna pick an anime, and now he picked like an animated movie, and it feels like we're kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But I'm still gonna do it anyways. Everyone should watch Ping Pong the animation. I will repeat that till the day I die. It's not an anime about ping pong. It's a beautiful coming of age story.
There you go.
That just happens to be about ping pong.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
It's really good, and it's only 11 episodes. Are you kidding me? Come on, just
You
watch
burn
it.
through that.
Yeah.
Let me think. I'm gonna say the New Yorker comics drawn by Ed Steed. Fascinating.
Interesting.
Very, very innovative, interesting sort of 2010s cartoonist, and he kind of came out of nowhere and just really started like blowing up how like New Yorker comics are usually just like a guy saying what an asshole, and it's just some guy playing chess or something. It's some bullshit New Yorker thing, but Ed Steed just is like the craziest thing in the world. So,
Yeah, I think you've shown us his stuff before, right?
Yeah, the pumpkin one. My favorite one. The one that
Yeah.
actually like blew my mind. So there's it's a big pumpkin. It's a guy that looks like it's a big pumpkin, like an anthropomorphic pumpkin, and he kind of has like paint all over him, and he's showing a man this canvas that he clearly painted on, and they're sort of standing in front of it. And he says, "Do you mean good or good for a pumpkin?"
That's really funny.
And it's like, what? Like, he has some that are just insane. There's one where there's this criminal. He's just like dressed like an old timey. Yeah, there you go.
Wait, is that the exact one you were thinking of?
No.
Okay, because that would be crazy.
Okay, I'll talk. Like it's a tree that guys are watering. There's a guy hanging from a noose, and the caption is, "Okay, I'll talk."
He's standing on the ground.
He's standing on the ground currently, but presumably this tree will grow. It's
and
so
hang
funny.
him
It's
eventually. That's a good joke.
His brain just like doesn't I don't know. He just is so innovative. There's this one that is just so simple and elegant, and it's so funny, and it's just a dry cleaning office, and there's a guy with like a cat burglar mask and wearing stripes behind the counter, and there's just a sign that says "Not responsible for lost or stolen items," and it's a criminal.
Kind of. That's funny. Kind of reminds me of Far Side in a lot.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that Far Side, because it is sort of like a little bit meta, so a little bit strange, kind of like way different from like the other things that are of its ilk. I don't know, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
He's very funny.
My one cultural thing is going to be Reservation Blues by Sherman Alexie.
There you go.
Changed my high school, changed my life.
Wow.
Really, truly incredible novel. Everyone should read it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Have to get started on that.
Yeah, it's
right after I rewatch Iron Giant tonight.
It sounds like we gave our listeners a full week. Get the notepads out, because you got some homework to do.
Yeah. God, all of these are... Well, I haven't seen the ping pong, whatever.
You should.
Yeah,
If
I
you
might.
should. Do it.
I will not.
You should do it.
Yeah.
I'll read that book if you watch it. I'll do it.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to
anyway.
happen. Just read the book, though.
Whatever.
Reservation Blues. If you don't read Reservation Blues, then you do hate Native Americans.
I don't know if we can say that.
Well, if you... No, I'm going to stick by that first statement. Yeah.
All right. Just be aware that is Mark who said that statement, not
Correct, yeah.
anyone else on this podcast.
Mark, it's not like his words are legally binding or anything,
Yeah, this is parody, so
Yeah, it's all satire.
it's all satire. You just got to think about it.
Sure.
All right, so let's wrap this sucker up with some plugs. I forgot to do plugs last week. I was in a weird spot last week. So
Yeah.
I forgot to do plugs. So, Mark, at Freer Than You.
Correct. At Freer Than You on Twitter. Hit me up.
Instagram?
Instagram, don't hit me up on Instagram.
Okay, word. Stefan, you don't have any social media, right?
No, I'm off the grid.
Oh, well, I can't.
I don't even have a phone number.
Burned his thumbprints off.
Yeah.
I just took a sand or two. At Obey Dashboard.
Yeah.
Great.
AUBE. Dashboard.
AUBE. Like tube with an A.
Yeah. Yeah.
Parker, you're at Dr. Parker Bradley on Twitter.
I am indeed, and NH Birdlaw on Instagram. I'll
Birdlaw.
probably put some pictures up from today. I was just looking through them at the beginning of this episode. There's some good ones in there.
There you go. Awesome. And I'm at Hot Dogs Beers on both Twitter and Instagram. A lot of not great tweets that are coming out of that account, but hey, stick with me and it might get better.
Like, me too. I've been in a dead spot recently.
Yeah, sometimes you just got it with Twitter and sometimes you don't,
Yeah.
But either way, it's worth the long haul for both of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
For sure. All right, well, thanks again for listening. Tune in again next week, and as always, let that ice melt. Don't break it.
Exactly.